Every indication is that New Yorkers are doing their best to live up to that challenge, and there's some hospitals, lines wrapped around the block of people waiting in line.
Our coverage here will continue throughout the afternoon, but I have news here that former US President Bill Clinton, in news out of Port Douglas, says that America needs to remain calm and strong. There is a 16-kilometre exclusion zone that has been brought into effect around Port Douglas, where the former president is holidaying. Our Prime Minister, John Howard, has said that he will back a lethal response to this act of terrorism. It has shown us pictures that have stopped the world. It's an event that will change our lives forever. We'll be back with Chris Reason shortly.
World Trade Center collapsed into the street.
A brutal attack on the free world.
Terrorism against our nation will not stand.
Thousands dead.
This is a declaration of war.
Tonight, Channel 7 brings Perth the most in-depth coverage.
Kamikaze killers in hijacked planes.
The second building just exploded.
The Pentagon, Washington.
New York.
How could it happen?
Why did it happen?
Who's responsible?
Today we've had a national tragedy.
Terror in America. 7 News and Today Tonight from 6 o'clock on 7.
Hello, I'm Chris Reason with 7's continuous coverage of the devastating terror attack on the United States, described as the worst in history. Maybe as many as 10,000 people have died in the collapse of New York's World Trade Center towers. The buildings and the Pentagon in Washington were hit by hijacked jetliners. At this stage, obviously, still early days, but we're trying to confirm whether any Australians were involved in this disaster, and we have here a press release that's been put out by Qantas. It's telling us, and I quote from it directly, the Qantas Airways said today that it's believed 6 US residents were flying as Qantas code-shared passengers on American Airlines Flight 77 from Washington Dulles Airport to Los Angeles. Qantas also believes one Qantas US-based staff member, that's one Qantas US-based staff member, was travelling on company business aboard American Airlines Flight 11 from Boston to Los Angeles. We've also had one person who we believe is a family friend of that person who's rung into our news desk here at Channel 7 in Sydney and has told us the victim was a Sydney person aged in his 60s. This is still early days. We're still waiting to confirm those details. When we have more information, we'll obviously bring it straight to you. Let's turn now to international reaction. Obviously, the world has joined with President George W. Bush to condemn this act of international terrorism. British Prime Minister Tony Blair has also condemned what he calls the evils of terrorism and called on the world's democracies to unite and eradicate it from the world. He's outlined the security measures put in place in Britain.
It is hard even to contemplate the utter carnage and terror which has engulfed so many innocent people.